Hey there, this is Matt. Hey, I'm just gonna do a quick build video. I'm gonna do a separate build video for the music department because I want them to be able to um, hear the game without me talking over it. So I'll put that in our retrospective alongside the link to this video. First, just want to go over how the sprint went. The sprint actually went pretty well, depending on who you were. I worked nonstop on this. This game was kind of a part-time, if not full-time job for me over the last few weeks. I worked nonstop. I come in and I just fix all the bugs left and right. I've lost sleep over this because I knew the end goal was attainable, including us having split screen networked on PlayStation, so we could have had 4v4. We just ran into different levels of work ethic on the project, and we'll talk about that more in the retrospective and stuff. And I've put an obscene amount of time into this project, and I know each person has put a substantial amount of time in it, but I know I've put in 1 billion hours. Isaac's put in a lot of time. Aaron's put in a good amount of time, and we'll talk about more than that on the sprint retrospective. But even with where we're at, I'm pretty proud of what I've done, and I'm hoping our grade reflects that because we've put a lot of work into this, regardless of how the presentation went. So yeah, anyways, we have the network build working pretty well. I have it here on the desktop version. This is where it works just fine because the PS4 and the laptop run into just resources and RAM and stuff with Edgar, and that's just something we didn't realize was an issue until we fixed up the network version, which really only happened at about noon today. So we were working with all the other stuff after that and couldn't really do much, couldn't do as much about it as we wanted to. And we were hoping, I'd set a goal to have the network version done last week, and just with different levels of things done. Yeah, so we'll talk about that more in the retrospective, but let's get into the build. So I'm going to have this one be the host here, and if the audio cuts in and out, that's because I'm going to be switching tabs and such, and so that's not the game. That's me just switching it down tabs and me messing with my microphone. So don't worry about the sound cutting in and out. That's just my microphone cutting in and me switching between tabs. So I'll host a game here, and I'll join a game here. The host can see who's joined and who's not. We'll get everyone in. So we have the player and we have the host. So everyone's moving around just fine. Looks great. I'm going to go back to the host here so there's a little more visibility. We have our mini-map finished. We have all our assets and animations finished. We're really proud of the visual. And Aaron said we did commission a guy. Yeah, we paid him a little bit to help us out. We had a lot of input on the assets, and I modified them and then made a lot of the other assets, like the gun assets were all me. And yeah, any weird UI things you see are just screen size differences. This is really set to work for 1080p, which is what the, which is basically what the sorry, let's see, get that working. Good. Screen size is set to 1080p, which is what the PlayStation runs off of. That's what I was looking for. I was playing on PlayStation. I kept thinking of Xbox for some reason. And so any other screen resolution, sometimes the images on the UI can get a little wonky. So for example, here, this build, I'm currently on my non-1080p monitor, so it's displaying a little larger than it should. Normally, well, as you can see here on the client here, everything's displaying great. Now that's the normal sizing, and that what every player sees on the PlayStation build. I would recommend trying to, if you have a chance to play on PlayStation, to try the local split screen. We have it 2v2, or 2 players for 3 players for 4 players, and it looks pretty good, and we're pretty proud of that. We really wanted it to get networked, and we were pretty ready to have it hooked up for networking, but someone dropped a sine waiver gun. Look at that, just for me. So yeah, this is the network build. Everything works great. When the game's over, everything ends, you can restart the game and go into a new one, or exit and join a new game if you'd like. We understand the overall gameplay loop. Pretty straightforward. Death team deathmatch. Although we'd wanted to add another mode, just didn't turn out like that, which is completely okay. But we're proud of the work we have here, and we hope you see that the amount of work put in on this game was insane, and that it really just came down to the different packages coming all together into one. And yes, random generation. Although it was more some of the systems behind the package we used than the actual random generation, which we had down at about Sprint 2. So it is what it is, although the presentation wasn't what I would like it to be especially. I put an insane amount of work into this project, and I'm pretty proud of what I've learned and what I've gotten out of it, and I'll be able to improve this greatly if I pursue it over the summer, or if I go on to make a new game. It'll work great. I'll use a lot of the skills I've learned on through here. So that's our game. Thanks for watching.